Hello, welcome to another episode of the Book Fix podcast, where we can fix your lives one book at a time. I'm your host, Yajaira.
And I'm your host, Cheli.
And the year is quickly coming to its end. Cheli, how are you doing with your Goodreads reading goal?
Why are you asking me first?
Because I just, why would I just bring it up without, I just feel like that'd be rude if I just brought up my reading goal.
Because, I don't want to, gloat or anything. That can wait for
I don't want to brag or anything.
Okay,
This isn't a bragging sesh. Not yet, anyway.
I just want to say that when this year started, I had my reading goal at 100.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, I'm shooting too high.
You?
Yeah. I was like, I'm shooting too high. The stars, they're they're unattainable for me. I know it was a little sad. It was a very sad day. So
very pessimistic.
I changed it to 50 because I was like, that makes more sense with my work life and everything. But then I started to read more. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to change it to 75 because I could do it. I believe in myself. So I changed it. But now I pushed myself again. And I changed it back to 100. And I kind of regret it.
See, I knew you would. See, it's because Cheli is the type of person where you love to stretch yourself so thin. You literally
no, I don't.
give yourself so much work. Like, your workload generally is a lot. And you'll be like, yeah, I can do that too. I can totally do this too. Like, it's totally fine. And I just mean that generally, not just with reading.
Wait, can I say something?
No. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. That was dumb of me to even say it.
Shut up. I'm just kidding. Go.
But this week that just passed was one of the toughest weeks that I've ever had. Like, work-wise, reading-wise, everything. Yeah. It was really tough.
Yeah, I didn't even hear from you. I was like, oh, she's going through it.
I really was. Remember that message I sent you where I was like, here's my life?
Yep. I mean, I appreciated it though because I like knowing what's happening with you.
I'm so sorry.
It was radio silence for a while.
It was a whole week. I have a very busy job, so I couldn't I would get out of work at 6 p.m. and then I would get home at 11 p.m. because I would have to do errands after work. And it was like that all week. And then I would have to wake up at 5
errands that pertain to your work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't just life errands. It was work errands.
Yeah. So I was over here going to every Michael's, Party City, and Walmart. Where the fuck is a reindeer costume?
Did you ever find Christmas costumes, by the way?
I did not. I found a Santa outfit. I found the Grinch, a onesie. And I just had to improvise, and I had to make my own reindeer outfits, and they were so cute. I'll send you a picture later.
Okay, I'm excited to see it.
But my reading goal, currently, I have read 80 out of 100 books.
What? How did you get to 80?
I have been reading so many, you know how indie authors release a lot on Kindle Unlimited?
Uh-huh.
I've been reading a lot of one-offs. Let me just say, they've changed my life. They're so funny. I love them so much. I'm going to make TikToks about them. So if you want to check out our TikTok, The Book Fix, THEBOOKFIX, I'm so in love with these stories. I've been referencing them to my sister.
Really? That's when you know it's real.
But yeah, I'm going strong. I'm going to read a lot these next few days. But do you ever get that feeling that after you read a story, even if you like or dislike it, doesn't really matter. It's kind of hard to jump into another one because you're like, wait, I'm still thinking about
on that
Marcus.
Story.
Yeah.
Yes. Dude, it's so hard, especially with what we do with us having to read new stories, or at least make new videos weekly.
Yeah.
With our schedule. But sometimes it's so hard for me to just do one book and then completely change the whole genre and do another book.
And it sucks too because sometimes we will not like what we're reading for the podcast, but we will read it because we have to for the podcast. And
yeah, which we're still down. Like, we're down to read things, even if we don't love them.
And don't get me wrong, I still enjoy reading the ones I dislike, but it's harder to get through because you're like, my God, this dumb bitch, they just keep going.
Yeah, has not stopped. She's still being a dumb bitch.
What about you, though? Where are you at with your reading goal?
Okay, so I think I was the opposite of you, where when I had set the reading goal, I thought to myself, I really just don't want to overwhelm myself. I don't want this to feel like a chore. So whatever happens, happens, right? So I think initially, I don't remember the exact number, but I think I had set my reading goal to like around 50. Mm-hmm. But then I got to it very quickly within the year. So I was like, okay, well, let me just change it. Well, I think I changed it 2 more times. So I added 10, I think. So it was like 60. And then I changed it another time to like 75. Let me double check. Hold on. Please hold.
Okay, I'll wait.
Okay. So it looks like I had changed it. Let me say that again. So it looks like the last time I changed it to 78, which I half passed. I am at 86 right now. But I've definitely taken kind of a pause from reading. I don't know, because I think last month I was reading a lot. Mm-hmm. And this month I've just been way too busy. So I haven't really had a chance to read anything. So yeah, I would love to get to 100, but I'm not really like, I'm not really trying to force myself to go through that journey. Because then I feel like I'm probably going to hate the books, just out of resentment.
I get what you mean. Also, but like you are at 86, right?
86.
Even then, I feel like you read such a more diverse amount of books than I do that I'm like kind of jealous because I always see your name pop up on like the Goodreads profiles. And it's like, oh, she just started this one. And I'm like, God damn, I thought you just started another one.
Oh, yeah. I think I know which one you're talking about. I tried to go into different genres. Are you talking about the fact that am reading The Death of Jane Lawrence?
Yes.
Because it's like a more of a gothic, not really gothic, but like a horror mystery kind of thing, kind of vibe.
Yes.
I try to do different genres because I don't want to get too bored. I don't know if bored's the right way to say it, but I think when I really love a romance, it's hard for me to jump into another romance.
Yeah, I get you. It's nice to like open up like the type of content that you consume too. Because you never know, you might find something else that you like.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the last time that we filmed, or the last couple times that we filmed, it was my first time doing a graphic novel, and that was fun.
Dude, I'm so glad you love that. And
I did.
Talking about love, why don't we talk about what we're going to read today?
Okay, so interesting enough, I did not write a summary. Normally, before we get into it, we give a brief summary of the books that we're going to talk about, which is kind of like spoiler free. It's kind of like the baseline of what the story is about. So first time that I'm going to try to give a summary of something that I didn't like write beforehand, unless you have a summary written up.
No, I don't, but I'm trusting your dome. I feel like it's in your mind right now. You've been holding it since you finished reading the book. Yeah.
Why is it a dome? I feel like I haven't heard that in so long.
I say that a lot.
Do you?
I say it at work a lot.
My dome? Oh my gosh. Are you calling her big?
No, it's just your dome piece. We all have a dome piece.
I know, but it just sounds like hollow and big.
It's like those, like you knock and you can hear like the echo.
No, literally. Okay, you know what? I'm going to give a super brief summary of The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. This is our second book from Alexandra Bracken, our first one being Lore. And not to go, too into it. We didn't exactly love it.
No, we didn't.
Some would say it was our favorite read of, oh my God, it was last year, huh? of 2021.
Season 1 of Story and Things. Rest in peace.
Yeah. R.I.P. Thank you. Okay, so The Darkest Minds is essentially a dystopian YA book where there's something going on with the children. You know, these kids dropping like flies.
Jesus.
Don't laugh. You're gonna make me
I'm sorry. It's just like, it's so dark.
It's called The Darkest Minds, Cheli. Anyway, and so our main character, Ruby, she kind of is also dealing with this sickness that's going around with the children. I think she first gets it. I think they all get it at 10 years old. So our main character gets it. And because she has this illness, they get taken away into like these camps where shit happens pretty much. Yeah. And so this book, we're just going through what exactly is going on with the children and what is the government trying to do about it.
That was a pretty good summary. That's basically the whole book.
I felt like I did a horrible job.
No, I mean, it is, like you said, it's a dystopian YA. That's pretty self-explanatory. Mm-hmm. Go read it if you're really interested. It's a cult classic, apparently.
This book was big when we were younger, but I didn't read it.
I never heard about it.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I never heard about it, and I was a little shocked to figure out that it had like a series.
Yeah, and it has a movie as well. Did you watch the movie?
I did not. I was going to before we talked about this. I'm so sorry. I came not prepared. Wait, did you watch it?
I didn't watch the movie, but I did watch someone else reacting to it, so I feel like I was there with her. I was there.
So technically, yes, we watched the movie.
So, now is the favorite part. Oh, sorry, our favorite part of the episode where we guess what the other person would rate the book. So Cheli and I, we don't like to discuss the stories that we talk about because it keeps, things a little bit spicy. We also don't really want to influence each other on how we rate the books. So should I guess first?
Yeah, I think you should. Go ahead.
Okay, so we have already been introduced to Alexandra Bracken before. And like I already mentioned, Cheli loved that book. Like, whoa.
No.
She's actually getting a tattoo of that book.
I'm actually reading lore right now.
Lore in one hand, The Darkest Minds in the other.
And I'm just soplando to make the pages turn.
She says she's blowing so that the page will turn.
Aww, translating. Love that.
You're welcome. But, okay. It's so hard for me to guess for you. I swear to God. So I'm just going to go with my gut feeling. Okay. Okay. I think that you didn't really enjoy this book overall. I feel like maybe you wanted to go in open mind, right? Unbiased. But I feel like the story itself maybe wasn't the most I don't want to be mean. Maybe it wasn't the most captivating, especially because you're reading so many books right now. So I don't know how much you could. Exactly. So I'm going to guess that you would give it a 1.5.
Whoa. Okay. That's a very low guess.
Yep. Thank you.
Well, I did want to add to what you were saying, just to mention my relationship with Alexandra Bracken, because we go way back. I was the one in season 1 of our podcast that recommended that we talk about lore for the podcast.
Yes, you did, and I will never forget it.
And it sucks too, because that was one of the first books I remember recommending. And a series of
for
all
the podcast.
Books, a series of all the books I did recommend that fucking suck.
Yeah, you had a lot of misses in the beginning.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad it didn't continue. It did make for funny episodes, though. But
No, it really did. I mean, and I think it was definitely an experience.
Yeah, and I was so disappointed that Lore wasn't, good. So, saying that, I think you also went in with an open mind, open heart, open arms, I would even say.
Oh, I was actually. Thank you.
Because this series is compared a lot to the Shatter Me series.
Yes, and that's actually why we also kind of wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, because if you remember back in our lore episode, we had made a joke that one of them was copying the other.
Yeah, and I don't even know if we kept it in, but we were literally looking up, okay, which one came out first.
And
but I feel like the premise isn't exactly like original. No offense to both The Darkest Minds and Shatter Me. I just feel like it's something, that we've seen a lot.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like, just to say this now, both of them made that premise their own. So I wouldn't say these are like carbon copies of each other. But keeping that in mind, that you really loved Shatter Me, I feel like that type of premise you like. And I think you have, I don't know, this is just me taking a wild guess because I've never really asked you. But I think you like it when it's like an action with a heroine. Like when it's action and has like a really, really strong heroine. And I think you love the main character. That's my guess. I think you love both guy characters, which I don't know. I haven't read the second one, but I feel like it's going to be a love triangle. But I feel like you love all of those.
Between who and who? Wait, what?
Me, her, and Chubbs. It's like... No. But okay, I feel like you like all the characters. That's what I'm trying to get at. I don't think that you liked how this was written. And I think that it fell flat for you.
Okay.
And because of that, I think you would give it a 2.
Okay. Oh, okay. I was not expecting you to say a 2.
I'm just kidding, a 5. I changed my mind.
At least it's not a freaking 3. You know what?
My middle ground.
This is so like unrelated, but I kind of related that I think is funny. Do you and your family ever play poker together?
A version of that, yeah. Why?
Okay, yeah, same, because I feel like we don't play like the official version. The reason why I say that is because there's a part in the poker game that we play where we swap out like cards, where we give each other like a card. And they always give me 2s. So I'm like, this is literally Cheli always giving me 3s.
I'm sorry, it's a safe number.
That is a safe number.
Oh my gosh.
But let's go ahead and get into it. We've had history with Alexandra Bracken.
Yes.
So where should we start? Should we start with Ruby? Like, should we start with her origin story?
Even before even before her origin, why don't we just start with her name? Just her name.
Ruby?
I don't know if it's just me. I hate that name so much. I hate any rendition of that name. And
what do you mean?
Like Ruby.
What do you mean by
Jen?
What do you mean by
Jewel? Anything like that. I can't stand it.
Amethyst, opal.
Yeah. I don't.
Turquoise.
We get it. You love crystals.
Aquamarine.
I don't know. I think
I love the name Ruby because shout out to the telenovela that raised me.
I mean, don't get me wrong. She was a descarada, but like, okay. No. You're thinking about it differently though, because like the name Gem is not cute for me personally. Sorry for every gem. For every
so
gem.
Cute.
Wait. Hold on. Sorry to every gem listening.
The one,
but like Hema or like Ruby.
Do you realize? Do you realize that you always go on tangents of the names you don't like.
Do I?
You do. When we were talking about Aaron, you were like, I hate that name.
Okay, well, there goes all my notes for this book. That's all I fucking talk about.
You're like, and I also hate the name Liam. Was that your other point?
We'll get to that, yeah.
Of course it is.
We'll get to that one later. Let's just focus on Ruby. Ruby is not your ordinary girl. She's really isn't.
No, she's not. And she's okay, there's a mystery to this book though. Because in the book, these kids, when they're in the camps, they are separated between colors. So it's the greens, the oranges, the reds, the blues, and the yellows. Yeah, and the yellows are the electric ones. Obviously, do we have to say it? They have superpowers. So the yellows are the electric ones.
Before you continue,
okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna add this to the front. Just to mention the premise again, just to like reiterate, this is in a world where there's like a degenerative sickness going around that's only affecting children. So the government is like, if your kid is showing any of these symptoms, which is like a very general list of symptoms, it's like immediately send them to us. And so they do that, and they get sent to these camps, which the public doesn't know about. They just think it's like a rehabilitation center. But like Yajaira was saying, it's where kids with abilities go, and they get separated by colors. Go ahead.
Okay, so the yellows are like electric powers. Mm-hmm. The greens are more intelligence based. The blues are telekinetic powers. The reds, I believe, they're kind of a mystery, but I believe it's just fire. Yeah. But they're deemed as very dangerous, which I mean, fire is scary, but yeah, very dangerous. And the last one is the oranges, which they are like mind controlling. Yes. And they are also deemed as very dangerous. So the government is more so okay with all of the colors except orange and red. I mean, everyone is still punished, but they're also like killing off these kids because they don't want them to, take over the world with these powers that they have.
Exactly. So Ruby, at the age of 10, she accidentally uses her ability, which her ability is orange, so it is mind-based. And she manipulates the minds of her parents accidentally, sorry, mom and dad, and makes them forget who she is. And she immediately gets sent. Yeah, she immediately gets sent to Thurman, which is the government.
One of the camps.
Yeah, the government camps. And she immediately sees that those who have her power are labeled as very bad. So she kind of manipulates the situation and fakes to be a green, which is like the safer bet.
Well, because there's someone who's testing the children to see what color they would fit into. And when she's getting tested, she realizes like, oh, these people are really scared of oranges. And so she's like, I'm just going to be a green. And so she kind of like gets into this person's mind, and that's how she's known to be a green. But while she's in this camp, she makes a friend, right? I think her name's Samantha. Right?
Yeah.
And so the reason why I bring up Samantha is because she also accidentally gets into Samantha's mind because they were really close, but then something happened and then she kind of erases herself again from Samantha's mind. So because of these accidents that have happened now twice to Ruby, she's terrified. She's terrified of her own powers. Like she can't control them. She's scared of getting close to people. She's scared of touching people because she thinks that she's just going to zap their her memories from their mind. And so that's pretty much like what she's going through.
Mm-hmm. And so just to fast forward a little bit. So she lives at this camp for almost 6 to 7 years. And it isn't like she's completely broken down as a person. She doesn't have a concept of time. She doesn't know how old she is. She knows very little. But she does get broken out. right?
Yeah, and she does. And it's kind of crazy because the government is like, they're kind of manipulating sound waves. Like they're making like these like really annoying buzzing sounds that is hurting people with certain abilities. And so they start hurting her that way, or not just her, but the oranges. And so there is this, I don't know exactly what she is. I think she's like a nurse, a therapist. I don't know what she is. I forgot. But there's this lady who's there who realizes, oh, Ruby is, being affected by this sound that she shouldn't be because she's a green. And so she kind of like helps her escape from Thurman.
Yeah. I don't remember. Did she crash into her people immediately?
So, yeah, so the lady who's taking her away is also taking another orange. And this other orange, it's interesting to see them together because obviously Ruby doesn't want to do like anything with her powers because she's too afraid. But this other character, this guy who is, I think, her age, he's so like evil about it. He's just like, yeah, if anyone ever thought that I was an orange, I would like manipulate somebody else's mind so that they would seem like an orange and therefore they would get like the punishment or they would be killed instead of him. And it's just like seeing the differences between Ruby and, someone who's like her. And so she's being taken away and I think they're going to like a hotel. So she's with the lady and then some guy and then a boy like her age. And when she's at this hotel or at this area, she notices a little girl and her name is Suzumi. And she follows her because she's, I don't know, I forgot why, but she just follows her. And so she's like chasing after Suzumi. Poor Suzumi. I mean, I'm sure she was terrified, but she's like chasing after her. And as she's chasing after her, she realizes, oh my God, like these guys, like the lady who saved her and then the guy who was with that lady, they're kind of like shouting for her. And I'm pretty sure the guy was like waving around a gun. And so she realizes like, oh my God, like he could possibly kill me because I'm not following orders. And so she ends up sneaking into the back of a car with Suzumi. And then that's how she gets integrated into this other group, which is the main group that she is a part of in this story.
So the first group that took her, remind me if I'm wrong, but they did tell her like, it's hard for you to trust us, so we're going to give you this panic button that, like, if you click it, would it contact the authorities?
So it would contact that group. So that group, they wanted to take her to this camp of, what are they called? Children of the League of Children. I forgot what they're called.
Yes.
But pretty much it's this like league of kids where they're all powerful like her and they're trying to pretty much start this revolution against the government. So it's like a safe haven, right? But she doesn't know that at this time. And so they want to take her there. And so they give her this like panic button, which I think is like a necklace, and they give it to her and they're like, so just press it and they'll be notified. Because I think it was the lady who took her who would be notified. Mm-hmm. And she was like, and immediately whoever's closest, we would go over there and save you, rescue, whatever. And so she was actually given 2 panic buttons. She was holding one, which she dropped, and then the other one was in her bag, I believe. And so that's how she still had a panic button with her.
But she, like you said, she escapes in a van and ends up with another group, which is Zoo, which is the little girl, Liam, and Chubbs. There's no one else, right?
Nope, that's it. And so Suzumi is a yellow, Liam is a blue, and Chubbs, what is Chubbs?
I thought he was a green. I don't remember.
Is he a green?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. He might be a green. I'm not sure. Or he might be nothing. Might be normal.
He's just Chubbs.
Yeah,
he's in it for the fun of it.
He's just there. But how did you feel about the group in the beginning?
I love Chubbs.
Yeah.
I hate the nickname, but I love everything else that man stands for.
Well, the nickname is supposed to be ironic because he's super skinny.
I know. I still hate it though. It's so,
I don't like it. I don't like it either. But I feel like that makes it a little bit better because I was like, oh my god, they're literally calling him Chubbs.
I love it. I love him. Like, I thought he was a great character, and I think that team dynamic was really cool. Like I said, there's 4 of them in total. So we have Ruby, our main character, who she hasn't been outside in 6 years. So she's very untrusting right off the bat. And she's super scared that they'll figure out what she is. And it's funny because to them, well, Chubbs is a little different. But to like Liam, it's like, oh my gosh, she's part of the team. We got to respect her, love her queen. And
yeah.
I think Zoo's the same way too, right?
Well, Zoo doesn't speak ever, but she does seem like she's glad that she's not the only girl anymore, right?
Yeah. It's just
But Chubbs was super mean. Like in the beginning, he was just like, we can't take her. Like she's just a stray. Like, remember when you wanted to bring those stray cats and you told me no or whatever? It was like so mean because he really did not trust her from the very beginning.
But I loved the dynamic because throughout the story, they're on like this very long road trip and they go through situations where they get stopped by authorities, where they have to protect themselves, where they have to use their powers. And through that, they like become a little family. And I fucking love that shit.
Yeah, it is definitely found family, even though at the end they're all separated.
Okay, spoilers.
Oh yeah, this episode's gonna have spoilers.
But okay, from what I understood, just like as a note, I read this story while I was at work. Like I listened to the audiobook while I was at work. So I remember the book, but it kind of gets a little,
hazy.
Yes. But it's Liam who basically tells her like, hey, there's this person and her name is Lady Jane, right?
Yes, Lady Jane, yeah.
And she's the big bad. Let's go kill that bitch. Not word for word.
No, he's like saying how she's been hunting down Liam and somehow she just always finds him.
So is that their entire road trip, just running away?
Yeah, literally. So they're running away, but they're also hoping to find this safe haven that, wait, now I'm confused. Okay. No, there's another safe haven, right? Because I'm sure there's multiple, but there was the
first one, and then there's the one that's connected that uses the mark, but they color it black.
Oh, yeah. They color it black. Yeah, so there's another safe haven that's unrelated to the League of Children. Mm-hmm. Kind of unrelated.
That they've heard of, that they're looking for.
But pretty much the reason why they are very trusting about it is because there is this person who is pretty much like saving children in these camps, right? And he's taking them to this safe haven. And so, the group, Chubbs and Liam mainly, are like, oh, we need to go to the safe haven so that we can stop running. And Ruby is down because she thinks that when she's in the safe haven or through this guy or whatever, like she can maybe hopefully find her grandmother.
Yeah.
So that's her motivation. And so the road trip is basically them going to this safe haven while also evading Lady Jane. But of course, Lady Jane, she fucking shows up everywhere. And so eventually, Ruby does save the team, but in order to save the team, she pretty much has to like reveal herself as an orange.
Okay, before we continue,
they've been calling her green this entire time. It was like
she's like, yeah,
she's
totally.
not green.
That's totally me. It's like my favorite color too. Crazy.
You really think I'm a green?
Shut up! You think I'm a green, you bitch? Oh my god! No, but before we continue, this story to me while I was reading this, I was so fucking down for a road trip when it started, and it was just like, oh, you know, just sleeping in the not the couch, sleeping in the cushions. And then her whole thing with like not touching people, really hard to do in a fucking van. So like, I was so down for this road trip aesthetic.
Okay.
But the fact that it was like 75% of the book.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought too, was that I couldn't believe how much time was spent in the van through this story.
Bitch. I was like, yet?
You know what's funny? Because the first time you there yet? the first time I listened to this, I listened to it on an audiobook. And I think I was also like, I can't remember if I was at work or what the hell I was doing, but I was doing stuff. And so sometimes I would space out, and then I was like, wait, we're still in the car?
No.
We're still in the van?
Dude, it's so funny because I don't know if I told you, but where I work, I have my own workspace, but there's like a connecting door that connects to like the person next door. And she came in while I was cleaning. And she was like, wait, are you listening to The Darkest Minds? Like, she knew it. So
oh my God. What'd you say?
I was like, yeah, I am. And she's like, are you enjoying it? And, you know, I'll talk about that later. But
that's a no.
I had to ask her. I was like, I'm listening to it, but, you know, I'm busy. Have they been in the car this whole time? Like, did I miss when they got off? Or has it just been... Did
they even make a pit stop?
Wait, how do they go to the restroom? I need to know. These are questions I have. Like, I didn't know if I was missing something. It wasn't until they got off. I was like, oh my God, fucking stretch your fucking legs. These people.
It's like, I'm feeling cramped and I'm not there.
I don't like that. I really dislike that was a majority of the book.
No, yeah, I agree 100%.
It really threw me off. But I do appreciate the relationships between the characters, because Ruby's relationship with all three of them, mostly Chubbs and Liam,
her and Suzumi were really cute because she was like a big sister to her.
Oh, I know.
She was like a big sister to her.
Okay, I guess that's cute. I don't remember that one much. I guess that one I kind of skimmed over. But like even then, like her relationship with all three of them is really well developed, I guess. Because I really liked her relationship with Chubbs. I thought it was really
cute. It. You love Chubbs.
I do love Chubbs. I thought it was really cute that, you know, they went from basically hating each other, not trusting each other, to like that one point where they both got really excited because they heard like that message for the safe haven. And Chubbs was like, oh my God, I can kiss you. And she's like, no. Like, please.
She's like,
don't.
Ugh, disgusting.
But they were so good. And even like, you know, he's not one to like put his like emotions out there. But anytime she was hurt, he would be like, please just, who's the president? Go. And she's like, what the fuck? Go. Who's the president? I'm asking you. Like, it was so good. He was like an older brother.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Are you crying?
Yeah. How did you feel about like the dynamic between the characters?
I really liked it. I mean, I didn't love Chubbs as much as you did. I thought, I don't know, his like skepticism was very annoying, and I hated how, I don't know, like how mean he was to Ruby. Like, I understand the situation, but at the same time, it's like, why are you so mean to her though? You're gonna go to this safe haven. You're obviously gonna be around a whole bunch of other strangers. Wait. Like,
I just wanted to agree with you. I wrote something down and I forgot I wrote it. One thing I hate about Chubbs, and it's a really big thing, is the fact that his favorite book is Watership Down.
I don't even know that book.
It's a required reading in 4th or 5th grade. And it's basically a story about bunnies that fight, and they fight really viciously. And it's like, I forget the exact saying, but the message is basically like, if one person dies, that's better because at least everyone else got to live, you know? So like one fallen one is not as bad than like, you know, an entire village falling. And I hated that was his favorite book because who the fuck knows that book? Who the fuck is like, oh my gosh, Watership Down? Are you on chapter 3? That chapter's killer. Like no one says that. That book's not even that good.
I don't know the book, so I couldn't even relate to that. And I wanted to look it up, but I had no energy. So thank you for telling me that.
Yeah.
I feel like that really explains a lot.
Fun fact, I had an entire month where all I consumed was Watership Down content. Thank you.
Oh.
That was a long time ago. That was 16. But
I thought you meant like recently.
No. It was a long time ago. So when they brought it up, I was like, oh my God. That's like such a callback.
Blast from the past.
But I hate it. I hate that he fucking loves that book. Sorry, go ahead.
So I just want to move a little bit forward. So eventually, spoiler alert, they do get to the camp or the safe haven, and it's, you know, that guy who would save kids and all that. His name's Clancy. Great. And so another thing that I wanted to bring up about Chubbs as a character is that I do appreciate that it was realistic how he reacted to being in this camp, because Clancy was kind of like the main guy, right? And it's kind of very like culty because like no one can do things without Clancy like telling them like, oh, this is the role you're gonna have. So like he would be like, you can only wash the dishes, or you can only cut the grass, or I don't know, like random shit. And so Chubbs was like the first one to be like, red flag. Like something is wrong here. And the fact that nobody else is bringing it up is really rubbing me the wrong way, guys. Come on. And I did appreciate that. But damn, do you remember that moment when he really wanted Ruby to ask Clancy for his laptop? And she kind of was like, I don't know, like I forgot why she didn't ask him, but she was busy, you know? And he was like, he literally told her, just because your parents didn't want you doesn't mean that the rest of ours don't. I was like, damn, like, where did this come from?
Chubbs!
Literally, I was like, fuck, I had to put my book down. I was like, damn, it burned me.
That. Oh my God.
But yeah, his character is just he's a lot. Very strong. He should have been a fire guy. Maybe he is actually. I don't even know what he is.
Yeah. I got a little worried when you skipped over to the last safe haven part, because that's the last part of the book. I thought we were going to go this whole podcast episode without talking about our boy Liam.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's like we're like 44 minutes in. We were
talking about Chubbs.
What about Liam?
You literally are the one that went through this whole tangent about how much you love Chubbs, and so I wanted to give my input about Chubbs.
No.
And now you're making me feel bad about not bringing up Liam.
I thought you were gonna be like, yeah, Ruby, Zoo, Chubbs, and Clancy.
Just freaking cut Liam out. So Liam, okay, let's talk about Liam. Okay, you start.
Hate the name.
I fucking knew it. I knew it. Why do you always have problems with these people's names?
It's just because that's like my first impression. Like I think about if I'm going to go out in the world and be like, I fucking love Liam. And people are going to think I'm like a Five Sauce fan. Because isn't that like one of the guys in the band?
What about Liam Hemsworth?
Okay, you know what? I take that back. I'm okay with it because I actually like Liam. But Liam in the book, he is kind of the main guy with like this little party. Like he is the one who says what they're going to do, how they're going to do it.
Oh my God. Wait, I'm sorry. What I love about Liam is the fact that he's so overprotective over Suzumi. And it's like the cutest thing ever because it, it kind of, well, I mean, it threw me off. I don't know if it threw you off, but I was like, oh my God, he's giving me such like big brother vibes to her because Suzumi, like I mentioned, doesn't really speak. And you can tell because she came from a camp as well. So you can tell that she's been through a lot. And so he's very much like doting and overprotective and just constantly worried about her. So like Cheli said, he is very much like the main guy, but I also love that he also provides like kind of like a comfort, I guess.
And he's like, I think he sells himself short because he's so much for all of them. Remind me if I'm wrong or correct me if I'm wrong, but Chubbs, like you said, is very skeptical, and he had something that he was going to write down just in case they didn't make it. But at the end, it's revealed that Chubbs never wrote anything because he believed in Liam so much.
Yeah, and he really thought that they were gonna make it, and it's so sad because it's really sad because Chubbs, when they got into a fight, him and Liam, so he made it seem like, well, he was kind of telling him like, no, like I knew you would run this team to the ground, like I knew you wouldn't like, pretty much get us to the wherever they wanted to go or whatever. And so they had gone into a fight. And so once Liam realized like, oh, Chubbs never wrote anything down, he was like, oh my God, he really had faith in me this entire time.
Yeah. I love Liam so much. I thought he was such a sweet character, and his like blooming relationship, I guess, with Ruby is so sweet. I think it's sweet. And it makes me sad. It makes me sad because like I don't I don't know anything about the other books, or I've never spoiled myself for anything. I don't think she's going to end up with him, and that makes me sad.
With Liam?
Yeah.
What? Really?
I don't think she is.
She has to. What do you mean?
He's so good, but like I don't
he's
know.
Too good for her? Is that what you're saying right now?
No, they're perfect for each other. He's so sweet to her. He even said that thing because her biggest fear was accidentally making him forget her. So there's this point where she reveals like, hey, the reason my parents don't want me anymore is because they don't even know who I am, because I caused that. And he basically tells her, like, no matter what happens, I'll never forget you. And it's so fucking sweet.
And he's a fucking liar.
I hate this.
Yeah. So I also really loved Liam. I thought he was the glue that kept me in this book, pretty much. And I really liked his moments with Ruby as well. I thought it was so cute. Like, even like the little things when he like gave her his socks and she was having a fucking meltdown in the bathroom, and he was like, hey girl, brought you some socks. I thought that was really cute. And I just thought it was cute how, I don't know, even his humor was funny because there's a part where I think they're about to kiss. And Ruby panics, and so she like touches. Well, they like touch each other, like she kind of like brushes against his arm or something, and she like zaps his like memory, but it was his memory from like 5 seconds ago. Like it's like that current memory, and she like falls or something, and he's like, "Oh my God. Damn, your head is heavy." Because he tried to like save her, but she ended up falling. But he couldn't remember what happened, so he was like, "Wait, what? I just tried to grab you, but you ended up falling anyway. Like, what happened?"
Oh my God!
I just thought that he was really great, and I just love how much he cares for his team. So yeah, I agree. He's a great character.
I kind of thought that his whole thing with Lady Jane, I know it was like a good chunk of the book, I thought that was going to be a bigger thing than it was, because that last fight felt very anticlimactic.
Yeah. I mean, the ending kind of felt anticlimactic to me because of how it played out, pretty much.
Well, why don't we talk about that then? Because they get to the safe haven and they meet Clancy, who's the one who's protecting all these kids and created the safe haven. But it's like a weird thing because he's also the son of the president of the United States.
Yeah.
I
forgot about that detail.
Yeah. And so like,
and the president is the one who created these camps. Like, he's the one who's been like, you know, if your kids are displaying these kind of behaviors, then you know what? Send them my way.
And Clancy was kind of like a spokesperson for all those government camps, but they figured out that he wasn't actually sick. So they were going to kill him. And he was like, nah. And he started his own little haven, sanctuary, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And so he's also an orange. And so him and Ruby kind of connect together because Ruby finally feels like, oh my God, he's this great person. Maybe he can show me how to control my abilities, my powers, because she's obviously still terrified of touching people. And so
Clancy starts off too, like, he starts off as a great guy. Like, everyone sees him as a great person. And he's so big on like, no, there's no colors here. It's only black.
We're all the same color.
Yeah. And then like when it gets to her talking about like, I need to go find Liam. It's like, well, why do you want to be with him? He's a fucking blue, right?
I know. And she's like, I thought colors didn't matter. And he's like, well, now it fucking does because he's a blue.
And he's also a bitch. Thank you.
He doesn't understand you like I do.
You know what? That's very orange of you to say. It's like, he just completely turned.
Yeah, but it's crazy how his character turned. I don't know, because you start to realize, right, that it's very much a cult, like the whole mindset of, okay, here's this main guy, and he's the one who gives the orders of who gets to leave, who gets to come in, where everyone's at. Like, you know, Suzumi gets to leave because he grants her and her friends permission to. And it's just like this like really eerie thing. And he's supposedly helping Ruby with her powers, but he's also kind of taking advantage of her because she obviously can't, I guess, put up a shield that well. Yeah. And so there's times where he'll get into her head and she'll start thinking like that she actually wants certain things to happen, because I believe he like kisses her and she, in her head, she's like, oh my God, I want this. But she knows that it's not really her who's like thinking that. It's actually him who's manipulating her thoughts to believe like, oh, like this is actually what she wants. But then immediately she's like, no, wait, Liam though. Wait, I like Liam. And that's how it kind of like she snaps out of it. And it was really sad because after that moment, I think she runs into Liam. Like, so she like leaves Clancy's area and she runs into Liam and they kiss, right? Like they kiss, and then he starts to like feel and see like what she experienced with Clancy, and he's just like, what the fuck? Like what and just
immediately
happened?
Immediately he's like, we gotta go, like we're out of here, right? And then they go find Chubbs and they're like getting ready to leave.
So pretty much at the end, don't they run into Lady Jane at the end? Like, isn't she like the big problem?
Is she? I don't remember if it's her.
I remember. Okay, so they're still in the safe haven, and doesn't the safe haven get attacked?
Yes, it does.
I feel like it gets attacked, and then Liam is like dying or something, and she's just like, oh my God, everything is going wrong, and I forgot why, but pretty much, long story short, she pretty much clicks on the panic button because she's like, I need help. I need to help my friends, because I think Chubbs is really hurt too. Yeah. And we're going to butcher this, okay? Go read it if it really matters to you. If the details matter to you, go read it. But so the lady who took her, what is her name? She's kind of important, right?
Lizzie?
Is it Lizzie?
I don't remember.
So the Lizzie, the one who got her out of Thurman, so she pretty much shows up with her, people, and she wants to pretty much make a weapon out of both Liam and Ruby?
Oh, Kate. Is it Kate?
Oh, it's probably Kate, yeah. Okay, Kate then. Kate is the one who saved her from Thurman and is, here now. And so she takes them all to like her safe area. And
my safe haven 2.0.
The real safe haven. And so she takes them there. And I don't know if it's revealed by her or if it's like obvious that she wants to use Ruby for her powers as well as Liam. Because Liam, he's telekinetic, kind of cool, I guess. And so Ruby kind of strikes up a deal with Kate where it's like, okay, you know what? I'll do whatever you ask me to do, but in exchange, you have to let Liam go. And she knows that Liam will not leave because he, that's just not the kind of guy that he is.
Yeah.
And so she has a moment with Liam where they're kind of like, they're kind of having like this like really cute moment together where they're kind of like reminiscing on what could happen between them.
Yeah.
And then they kiss, and as they kiss, she's like plucking out her memories from him. Mm-hmm. So when she like pulls away from him, obviously he's like, where am I? And so pretty much he leaves because he's trying to find his friends. So both Chubbs and Suzumi. I don't know where Chubbs is at. I forgot, but I know he got not really there.
Hurt. He got really hurt.
Yeah, he did.
So he's out.
He did get really hurt, but I can't remember where he's at. And so, yeah, so pretty much that's how the first book ends. She is going to stay with the Children of Doom, or whatever they're called.
Which is Clancy's thing, right? No, it's Kate's.
I don't even know. See, that's my question. It's like, it feels like they're the same thing.
I don't know.
It kind of feels like they're the...
If it is the same thing, why do you click the panic button if it's right there? You could just go talk to Clancy.
No, it's probably not the same thing. Because I remember at the end, like, Clancy had literally booked it. He was like,
yeah, he didn't help at all.
This whole place can burn down to the ground. I don't care. So he leaves everyone to pretty much die.
Yep. Damn. I completely forgot that part with Liam at the end that he forgot.
You forgot that? How do you forget that?
She plucked my memories too, I guess.
She kissed me too.
I don't know. This book was a lot.
I just want to say, can I just say something really quickly?
Yes, go ahead.
I remember this movie trailer. I remember this movie trailer playing when I went to go watch something else. I can't remember what it was. And I thought to myself, oh my God, the movie looks really cool. It's interesting. And plus the Ruby is played by Amandla. Okay. What's her last name? Hold on. Amandla Stenberg, I think is her last name. And love her. Great actress. And so I was really interested in seeing it, but literally I never heard about this movie ever again. So it literally left my brain. And in the movie trailer, it literally shows you that she's erasing herself from his memory. I mean, you don't know what's happening, but she's getting Thanoed. So it's like, I know what's happening. So, and even in the movie poster, she's like half dust. So I'm like, before I even got to the ending of the book, I was like, oh, I already know she's going to erase herself from his memory. Like, I just know it. Like, it's so predictable. Damn, and my biggest issue with that is, how was she able to control it that time? Like, she wasn't able to control it any other time, but that time she was.
Well, she said it herself that, like, it's at times when she can focus that she can do it well. But yeah, it never showed any training, like proper training.
But she had never... Yeah, but she had never tried to erase herself from someone's memory, like, on her own. At least not that I remember.
No, she didn't.
From the times that she did erase herself, like when she erased herself from her parents' memories, it happened very quickly. It was like a zap. And when she did it with Samantha, I think it was also very quickly. I don't really remember that part, but I don't know. Like, I just thought it was very weird that one time... It was slow, and that's what she had intended to happen, and it happened.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. I mean, do you have any other likes or dislikes to say? Because I'm kind of ready for overall.
Okay, let me think. Hold on. I do want to say that I feel like I do really like these types of stories. Like I'm down for like the dystopian worlds, and I was very interested and excited to get into a dystopian world. And I also love, you already know this, I love like when characters have powers like these.
Yep.
So I thought it was really cool that they were separated between types of powers. I don't know why they would be orange though. Whatever. Details. I kind of wish we would have seen more of like the oranges and the reds, mainly the reds.
That feels like a second book thing though. Like it'll get more into that.
No, yeah, for sure, but still.
Yeah, because you want it now.
Yeah, I'm actually very impatient. I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm very impatient. Question.
Okay.
And this is just like you and me having a little discourse.
So the podcast isn't here. This is just us. Okay, we'll mute. Okay, go.
Okay, mute. So if Ruby erased herself from her parents' memories, does that mean that all of the photos are erased too?
No, because she said it was all still there, but they couldn't connect it. Like they logically can't make that connection.
But I feel like if you know that this world is full of magical babies, then wouldn't the parents just use like their common sense and think, oh, maybe my child is cursed?
But I mean,
or gifted.
I mean, she can't take away pictures. She's not a wizard. It's not that type of story.
Damn, I wish she was.
Because she did say all of her stuff was still there, but
which
the
is
parents
weird
wouldn't
to
make
me.
the connection.
Because her parents obviously don't care about her because they don't see her as their daughter.
Yeah.
But then why would you keep all of the evidence that she is your daughter?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just have a lot of questions.
I mean, I hate that this was like the buildup. Like, oh, I can never tell them what I did to my parents. It wasn't that bad. There's
Dude, that's literally what I was thinking. Like the whole time when she was like too nervous to tell them what she did, I was like, damn, she like tortured her parents like unexpectedly. Like or murdered them like mentally. Like I'm not sure. Like I was expecting like something really bad. And for her to just say like, oh yeah, I just erased myself from their memories. That's not that bad.
My mom forgot the pancakes. Can you believe it?
On my birthday? That bitch.
Oh God, that's evil.
That's pretty evil. It's true.
Yeah,
but
I didn't think that was
I don't
a huge thing.
Maybe it's because we're older. Maybe if we were younger, we would be like, yeah, that's like the worst thing ever. Oh my God.
I don't know, because even now, like, she's deemed as so important for being an orange, but I thought her power was kind of lame. Like, I guess it's because we haven't seen how
getting into people's brains.
Yeah. I don't know, because she didn't really use it for anything. I guess that's why I didn't like it. The only time that she really used it was against Lady Jane, and then she was just like, go to the forest, sit down, and don't drink water, bitch.
And even if you're hungry, starve, bitch. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When that happened, I was like, damn, she's brutal.
But that was the only time that we saw her like that. Ever.
Yeah, and then she got, like, depleted, like, right after. She was, like, tired.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm glad you feel the same way, though, because I was like, I don't know if I'm heartless or if I'm just like, damn, this could be worse. She could have done something way worse.
Were you okay with the writing style?
I was all right with it. I don't know, because I kind of try to think like, okay, I'm not necessarily the target audience, right? I didn't really have much thoughts. I didn't love it, though. I didn't love the writing style.
I know that reading it, like the whole time, like not even counting my overall thoughts, I could put this book and have my kids read it and they would love it. That's like, that's the writing style. It's that at that point, like 5th grade, 6th grade. Because it was a super easy read.
It was. I told you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you for the warning.
I tried to warn you. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I feel like we've talked about this story enough. This was our second, Alexandra Bracken book. And just a reminder, Lore was like one of our 2021 faves. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hated.
We hated that book so much. Like a lot.
It was bad. It was so bad. I mean, I don't know.
But saying that, what are your overall thoughts of The Darkest Minds?
So I know that I'm not the target audience, but I feel so bad. So I didn't love this book. I think what really swayed my decision was, first of all, what she did to her parents, which I don't really think was that bad. Mm-hmm. Secondly, was the fact that most of it was in the van, which, I mean, van life, it's very big now. So ahead of its time, honestly. I can't. And thirdly was the ending. I have this thing where I do love like heartbreaking endings.
Yeah.
But to me, this kind of felt like, okay, I don't know. I can't get past the fact that she was finally able to control her power when she really needed it. I just wish that I would have seen more of a progression of her trying to erase. It would have been so cool if she had erased their memories from Lady Jane's brain. Like, that should have been the first time that she tried to. And maybe it wouldn't have been perfect, but I think that should have been like the first intro of her trying to, do something that in the way that she wanted it to happen. Mm-hmm. And I didn't love the writing style, but I don't know. I also didn't really think much of it at the same time.
Yeah.
I think I would give this book, and when I say this, it's because I don't want to discourage like anyone who's younger from reading this, because I feel like if I was younger, like in junior high, freshman maybe, I feel like I would be down, Like, same. I think I would be down. But honestly, at my age right now, and the fact that I didn't love the parts that I said, I would give it a 2.5. 2.3.
So more leaning towards 2 than 3.
Yeah, more leaning towards 2.
You know what? I can't even argue with you.
Why would you? We don't even argue. Cut to us arguing.
I know. Yeah, we do.
Oh my god. No, it keeps the relationship alive.
I agree with you when it comes to YA. I am very open-minded, and I'm also like, I don't really mind writing styles when it's written for younger audiences, because that's all I read at work. Yeah. So I'm like, when I read it, I'm like, I could recommend this to someone. And I read this one, and I already know like who I could recommend it to, who would enjoy it. That being said, definitely wasn't for me.
Same.
I don't mind dystopian books. I've realized that I don't really search for those types of books. Mm-hmm. But I don't mind it. I guess what bothered me was that they were in this dystopian place. You would think that this whole book would be filled with like constant tension. I mean, they were constantly on the run from Lady Jane, which, by the way, that's a dumb fucking name. You would think there would be like tension of like no sleep or like the constant fear of being caught. And I guess that was the whole point of like the van life. But it didn't feel like that at all. And I got super bored of this book really, really early on. I was like, we gotta finish it. I think I dropped off around the point. Do you remember the point where Zoo had a nightmare? And Liam was
oh my God, that was pretty early on. Yeah, I do remember that.
I love that scene, by the way. But after that, I was like, I don't fucking care about this at all. I did like Chubbs, but you know what? I don't like him enough to defend his favorite book being Watership Down, because no one's favorite book is Watership Down. Not even the authors. I don't know. I went in with an open mind, but I just don't think that this story was executed well. I don't really mind the ending, like her making him forget, but there was no lead up to that. And I feel like Clancy's gonna come back and he's gonna be like, wait, but what if it's me, babe? You know, I feel it. I feel it.
It's not though. There's no way this is gonna be a love triangle. And if it is, I'm gonna be pissed.
I feel like it is. I feel like it is because I don't know.
This book was written in 2012. You're gonna tell me that Alexandra Bracken was like, oh, the girlies are gonna love the morally gray character. He's not even morally gray. He's just gray. Wait,
I know.
What is it, black?
Mr. Gray.
I don't even know. Wait, what is it? Black? Is it
no,
white?
It's gray. It's gray. It's gray.
No, because he literally took advantage of her.
I know, but I feel like that's what's gonna happen, and I don't want it because I fucking love Liam. But I am okay with never figuring out what happens. Because I'm going to leave this book where it's at. I'm going to go back to the library and I'm going to make them apologize to me for allowing me to read this because I didn't want to. I'm going to give this book a 1 out of 5. I really didn't like this book.
Wow. You know what? You almost had me because I was like, we should really love Chubbs. Damn.
I fucking love Chubbs. He was the best part of the whole book.
No, he wasn't. He was annoying.
I just liked, I'm not defending Watership Down, but I just liked the idea of that book paralleling like the story, I guess, with the whole like, it's okay if one doesn't make it as long as everyone else is okay. Because she basically killed herself by like writing herself out of these people's lives. Like she just got rid of herself. So I kind of get that, but I don't know.
And I normally do love like sacrifices like this. I would have loved it had there been a build up to it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
I understand.
Am I being too rough? I don't know.
I'm over here giving it a 1 and you're like 2.5.
No, because I feel like the ending itself wasn't bad. I just wish that there would have been a buildup of her like actually being able to control her powers, because she was practicing with Clancy, but I didn't feel like, because he made fun of her. He was like, "You're never gonna be able to control your powers, you dumb bitch." I really felt like, oh wow, she really can't control her powers.
It's justified though, because there's nothing wrong with wanting a buildup. And I feel like just because it's a YA, it doesn't excuse being badly written.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, you got me there. I don't know, because it's also like everything that she did was so accidental. How is it that this one major thing was on like with purpose? Like, like that she actually wanted it to happen. Yeah. But no, I agree with you. Like, even if it's YA, doesn't mean that we need to baby the story. It wasn't for me and it wasn't for you either. But actually,
what would have made it better?
What?
If the whole thing that had happened with her parents, if she purposely manipulated their minds.
Oh, that would be so good. That would be
and
so
had done
juicy.
Something like super fucked up, and that was what was scary.
That's what I wanted. And then because she was young when it happened.
Yeah.
So, I mean, can you really fault her that much? She didn't really understand what she was doing. And it's funny because I don't know if you remember, but there's this bookstore that Cheli and I go to every now and then, every Friday. And I actually saw the book series there, like months ago. And I had remembered us talking about The Darkest Minds and saying how it's like Shatter Me and so on and so forth. And I saw the whole series and I was like, you know what? I told you. I showed you a picture. I bought the whole series because I was like, well, they were cheap, first of all. They were very, very cheap.
Okay, yeah, of course.
I was like, okay, you know what? I'm very curious to see if it is like Shatter Me. And yeah, I bought the whole series. So I have all of them.
Wait, are you going to continue reading?
I might, just because I want to know where this is going.
Well, good luck with that. I'll support you from the sidelines. Just tell me when Chubbs comes up.
No, I mean, first of all, I'm not in a rush, and I probably will skim most of it. And I don't really want us to do it for the podcast. I just want to do it just for me, so I can just be like, okay, close that chapter of my life. But I'm not in a rush. And I feel like this book series is definitely a book series that I'm gonna like donate once we go like little library hunting or whatever. Ooh, yeah. This is one of the book series that I'm gonna like let go.
And I'll hold your hand when you do it. It's gonna be a very emotional
Thanks.
thing.
You're the best.
I think we're done.
Oh yes, we are done.
Thank you for everyone who is listening to us in podcast form, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get your podcasts on. If you can leave a review and a rating of 5 stars, that would be amazing. That really helps.
That would be so sweet. I don't know. Like, I love seeing the ratings that we have gotten, and I feel like it definitely motivates us to, you know, just keep it going, keep trudging along. And it's just nice to see, like, some feedback based on, like, these episodes that we make.
And if you can please tell your friends, your family, your loved ones, hated ones about us.
Your rivals.
Your rivals turn lovers. We'll talk about it later.
Oh my god. Your rival turned lover turned rival turned friend turned strangers. Oh my god, this turned into a tragedy.
More at 11. But if you can, please talk about us with your known ones. Because the best type of exposure is through word of mouth. If you are listening to us on YouTube, thank you so much. If you can
I don't know how well this is going to do on YouTube because it is only audio based, but hey, if you're watching.
I watch a lot of podcasts on YouTube. So if you can
I don't.
like, comment, subscribe, and just tell us how you feel about this book. Because I know it's a cult classic, but I know sometimes things that we used to like as kids don't age well. And I'm here to talk to you about it. So if you want to talk in the comments, that would be amazing. Yeah, thank you so much.
And we are trying to be more active on social media. We do have an Instagram. We're not very active on there as of right now, but I'm trying. It's under the Book Fix Pod, so THEBOOKPOD. And we're mainly active on TikTok, so you can follow us there under the Book Fix, THEBOOKFIX.
Yes. Usually at the end of episodes, we roll a dice, and if it lands on a odd number, we are going to read a negative review off of Goodreads. But if it lands on an even number, we read a positive review off of Goodreads. These reviews, we just read them and just leave them be because we are not connected to them at all. But it is nice to end our episodes this way.
Yeah, because I feel like it's not connected to us, and it's just by chance, right? Whether it's positive or negative. And it's fun to see what other people think. Some of these reviews are very unhinged.
Do you want to roll the dice and I will read the review?
Yes. So I have an app for dice. All right. We got a 3.
3 is an odd, so we're going to read a negative review.
Did you see the ratings?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this has an average rating of a 4.16 out of 5, which is really high up there.
I know. I was like, am I the problem? Is it me? What am I doing wrong?
I mean, it was a nominee for the best young adult fantasy and science fiction book of 2013.
You know what? I'm not going to say anything.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything.
So let's go ahead and read a negative review.
Yes, let's. Hold my hand.
Okay. This was written by Hilly, who gave it a 1 star. DNF'd 48%, 1.5 stars. I already wanted to DNF this book when I was 1/3 in, but I pushed through because 1, I wanted to go to the cinemas to watch the movie. 2, I've been wanting to read this book for a long, long time. And 3, everyone seems to love the series, so there had to be something really good that I actually wasn't picking up, I guess. But as you can see, pushing till halfway through, as some kind of friend suggested on my status some days ago, was pointless, and I'm so sad that I did not enjoy this book. I know that if I'd picked it up in 2014, I would have loved it as much as I loved Divergent at the time. Now it's just too late to enjoy these books because I have standards. The thing that bugged me the most was the writing style. Dialogues are okay, but action scenes are painful to read. Paradoxically, they're extremely descriptive and slow, and they read as if they are portrayed in slow motion. Ruby's thoughts are exposed in that way most of the time, too. I also feel like the entire book is just a long and tedious road trip. I don't exactly enjoy reading road trips, but since this is a dystopian and not a contemporary, I was expecting something with more action, you know? Or at least a book where something happens, not a weirdly episodic journey in a van with useless stops in between. Lastly, there's not much explanation of how some things work in this world. For example, what the fuck do the different colors for the powers exactly mean? Sometimes we are not explicitly told what is going on, and that drove me nuts. Will I watch the movie? The trailer didn't look that great, but maybe.
I wonder if she watched it.
Let us know, Hilly. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week.
The next one. Bye. Next week, Thursday.
I don't know where I am.
Okay. Bye.
Oh my god. Do you want to go on a road trip?
You know what? I've been thinking we need to take this podcast on a van.
Oh my gosh.
How does that even work? I feel like I can never do van life. I require space. I require a lot of space. All right, so are we doing it or what?
I'm already in my car.
All right.
I've been waiting,
I'll be right
actually.
I'm on my way. I'm on my way.